Every night I hear someone crying in my shower, but there's never anyone there. I thought I was losing my mind. I could have been hallucinating, but it was too consistent. The exact same sobbing, the exact same time, every single night without fail. I even had friends come over, asking them to stay the night to see if they could hear it too. But whenever someone else was around, the crying never came. It was like the house knew when I was alone. For the first few months, I tried to ignore it. I'd lie in bed, squeezing my eyes shut, hoping it would stop, but it never did. 2:13 a.m. came, and the sobbing would start again like clockwork. Eventually, I got used to it in a way. I stopped checking the bathroom, stopped worrying about what might be behind the curtain. That was until last week. I don't know why that night was different. Maybe it was the way the sobbing sounded, more desperate, more human. Or maybe it was just the fact that it had been 3 years, and I couldn't take it anymore. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to the soft cries from the bathroom, and something in me snapped. I wasn't scared anymore. I was pissed. I threw off my blankets, stormed into the bathroom, and stood in front of the shower. The sobbing was louder now, right on the other side of the curtain. My fists clenched, my heart racing. I didn't even think about it. I just pulled my arm back and punched the curtain as hard as I could. I felt something. Something solid. Something warm. I froze. My hand was still pressed against the curtain, and for the first time in 3 years, the crying stopped. My heart was pounding in my chest, and I stood there, my fist still hanging in the air, too scared to move. Slowly, I pulled my hand back, staring at the crumpled fabric in disbelief. There was no way. There couldn't have been anything there. But there was. I'd hit something. Or rather, someone. The air in the room felt different, heavy and cold. My breath hitched as I reached for the curtain, my fingers trembling. Slowly, I pulled it back, half expecting to see an empty tub like every other time. But this time, it wasn't empty. A woman was crouched in the tub, her back to me, her long matted hair dripping with water. Her body was wrapped in a soaked nightgown, and she was shaking, her shoulders heaving as if she was about to start sobbing again. My heart stopped. "Who are you?" I whispered, barely able to get the words out. She didn't respond, didn't turn around, just sat there, her head hanging low, her hands gripping the edge of the tub so tightly her knuckles were white. I took a step back, every instinct in my body screaming at me to run, but I couldn't tear my eyes away from her. Something about the way she moved, the slow, deliberate way she turned her head towards me, sent a chill down my spine. When she finally faced me, her eyes were hollow, black pits that seemed to swallow the light from the bathroom. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Just a dark, gaping hole that seemed to stretch wider and wider. My legs felt like they were made of lead, but I managed to stumble backward, nearly tripping over the rug as I backed out of the bathroom. The door slammed shut behind me on its own, the force shaking the walls. I stood there in the hallway, gasping for air, my mind racing. I didn't know what I'd just seen, but it wasn't human. It couldn't have been. My body was shaking, adrenaline coursing through my veins. The sobbing started again, but this time it was louder, closer. I ran to my room, locking the door behind me, and collapsed onto the bed, my mind reeling. The sobbing continued, echoing through the walls. But now I knew. It wasn't just some strange noise. It wasn't in my head. There was someone, in my house, and they'd been in the shower this whole time.